speaker comes up, as we listen to all these speakers, I want to know one thing. Is the management here?
Yes.
Oh, that's you. Okay, good.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Ori Bytton.
We may have some questions here. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for listening to us. You mentioned earlier that you want to attract businesses to Sacramento and you want to develop new industries. I came to this city in 2016 after you guys passed the ordinance. And with me, I brought about $200 million of investments. Probably my group is the largest new investor in town. We invested in real estate, we invested in development, we invested in cannabis. And we built Natura. We started building Natura in 2019 after we saw a lot of our operators in our people that rented from us properties have failed. I have buildings on 88th Street, on Younger Creek, a lot of them in Erigera district, you know us pretty well. And what's happening here is just strong, because Natura has been operating for 3 years under TCO that the city allowed us. And we had over 50 inspections in those 3 years that every time the inspectors came, deemed the facility to be safe. We're talking about fire, building, code. They came, they checked, they deemed it safe. A few weeks ago, something changed, out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, in a surprise, they decided, all of a sudden, it's not safe. On site, we have about 450 employees. People say different numbers. We have two different teams. We have the Natura team and we have Alpha X team that they're representing here as well. All of those people are hard-working people, and they're in a safe environment. Actually, our workers' comp actually dropped significantly because we are a safe place. What I'm asking from the City Council to do today is to override the decision of Bob Latz, the Chief Building Inspector, and have you guys acting as a board of director. Something is rotten in the management of your city.
Thank you for your comments. Your time is complete. Thank you for your comments. Mayor, did you have some questions?
I'm going to ask a question, yes. So the city management tells us that these issues of code violations have been ongoing and communicated for 2 years. You're saying it was just a couple of months ago that you first found out about this, and this is some precipitous decision and something is rotten with the management of the city. I'm sorry. We have a very good and respected fire marshal and building inspector. So you need to explain to us, and we're not making a decision here because this is not agendized. If you're telling us you've received no notice of this and there's no violation and no serious health violation, then we will check into that, of course. But I have a hard time believing that because the city does not take that kind of precipitous action.
Let me explain you the situation. We started construction on our 12-acre facility, which is about 300,000 square feet with multiple buildings. We started construction August of 2019. Our first building, it's a big site. The site used to have homeless over there, and we took about 42 containers of crap out of there. It's in Eric district. You know it pretty well. We have multiple buildings on site. The first building, we had a TCO in August of 2020. Then COVID came in and delayed us. But we never received violation notices. We always worked under extensions of the TCO because the inspectors inspecting us once a week. Between fire and they're always inspecting us, and they deem it safe and allow us to continue. The only time we got a notice of violation is now, 2 weeks ago. We never received a violation, ever. This is the first time in our history. Until now, we've been working in partnership with Building and Safety. Actually, Eric was negotiating an agreement with the city last week. Last week, we had, on Monday, on Yom Kippur, we had Building and Safety inspection. On Tuesday, we had mechanical inspection. On Thursday, we had fire inspection. Eric worked with the city, and what was negotiated, that if there is a great improvement in our completion, the city will allow us to keep operating. Friday, it's changed. Out of nowhere, the city decided they are not willing to extend our TCO. That means our BOP, our business operating permits, are revoked. It's an automatic procedure. only because one person in the city or a few people in the city looking at it the wrong way. We are probably one of the largest taxpayers in town. We're paying about $2.5 million a year to the city of Sacramento. That is how much money my company is paying to the city of Sacramento.
Okay, thank you. I'm frankly concerned about the workers. And, you know, there are a lot of questions, whether or not you, excuse me, no, sit down. Whether or not you knew of the violation or whether or not you informed your workers.
No, we didn't
because they're
have
the ones
violations.
that are innocent here. Councilmember Guetta, I want you to speak to this, please. Before we go further, stop it. Quiet, no more. Councilman Guetta.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I do want to thank all the workers who came here today to always speak their comment. And what I will say,
You're out. Please leave. No, please leave. I'm asking you to please leave. We violated the rules now 3 times. Please leave.
I'm standing up for court here.
Please leave. Go ahead, Eric.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, first, I will have our city staff respond here on this. But number one, you know, I appreciate all the workers who came here and speaking about their issue. That's what this time is for and is about. But I will say to the management, which we have our office has tried to work with and communicate with the agency staff about it, that and your workers, you should have notified your workers about this condition too, where the things were. Now, we were working with you guys to try to make sure that this occurs, but I want to make sure that the staff have a response here about where the condition is at, because this is not the place, nor do we have the legal authority to take any action. So if you excuse me, Ori, excuse me, sir, okay? If you informed your workers that you were going to get an action today, you're misleading your workers again. Now, we appreciate their comment. This is an important aspect of why we have public comment. But and any of your attorneys would have told you that would have been a situation for today. But I do want the city staff to respond, because what has always been important to me is how we create more local jobs and employment. And I do appreciate the way you've taken it by making sure that you not drive low-wage jobs, that you provide health care. All of those pieces, I do want to say I appreciate the way you've run your operation in that manner. But this is one thing that needs to be at least responded about. What can be done today? Because that's why your workers came here today. They want to know what can be done today.